Do you want to scry forward into time to see your victory before it even happens? Then Kenessos might be the commander for you. But first, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you doing? Kenessos, Priest of Thassa, reads 1 in a blue, legendary creature, merfolk cleric. If you would scry a number of cards, scry that many cards plus 1 instead. 3, hybrid green-blue. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent creature card, you may put it onto the battlefield. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield, you may put it on the bottom of your library. So in this deck, we're going to manipulate the top of our deck and then cheat big beaters into play. Let's start with the scry part. Mystic Speculation is 1 blue for sorcery with buyback 2. You may pay an additional 2 as you play the spell. If you do, put this card into your hand as it resolves, and scry 3. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put any number of them onto the bottom of your library and the rest on the top in any order. This card looks really bad on the surface, but we're in green, so ramping into being able to cast this with buyback isn't out of the realm of possibility. Plus, scry 4 with our commander out makes this dig real deep. Ponder is 1 blue for a sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle, draw a card. While it doesn't actually scry, the card selection we get is too good for us to pass up. Preordain is 1 blue for a sorcery. Scry 2, then draw a card. Another classic blue cantrip made even better by our commander. Reason is 1 blue for a sorcery. Scry 3. Believe is 4 and a green with Aftermath. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put that card into your hand. This is cool because it offers us a one-time cheat any creature into play when you cast both halves. This can be a really solid top deck post-board wipe. Eugene's Insight is 3 blue, sorcery, scry X, where X is the highest converted mana cost amongst permanents you control, then draw 3 cards. We are running Leviathans, Krakens, Serpents, and all of that such, all of which are pretty big. So, expect to get a decent amount of scry off of this. Eyes Everywhere is 2 and a blue for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. Pay 5 and a blue, exchange control of Eyes Everywhere, and target non-land permanent. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Scry every turn is great, but also swapping it for an Eldrazi is nice as well. Netherese Puzzle Ward is 3 and a blue for an enchantment. Focus Beam. At the beginning of your upkeep, roll a d4, scry X, where X is the result. Perfect Illumination. Whenever you roll a die's highest natural result, draw a card. We don't run any other die rolling effects in this deck, and this is highly variable, so just count it as an average of about 2 in your head when adding it to the deck. Nissa, Steward of Elements, is X green-blue, legendary planeswalker Nissa, +2, scry 2. 0, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card or a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of loyalty counters on Nissa, Steward of Elements, you may put that card onto the battlefield. And -6. Untap up to 2 target lands you control. They both become 5/5 elemental creatures with flying and haste until end of turn. They're still lands. X starting loyalty. Planeswalkers that scry and cheat stuff into play. Both are amazing in this deck. Brainstorm is an instant. Draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Another great option for setting up the top of our deck without scry. Still worth running though. It can help get our big beaters out of the hand and back into the top of our deck so we can cheat them into play. Deliberate is 1 and a blue for an instant, scry 2, then draw a card. Instant speed, scry 3, and then draw 1 can be a great setup for your next turn. Joint Exploration is 1 and a blue for an instant. With kicker green, you may pay an additional green as you cast this spell. Scry 2, then draw a card. If the spell was kicked, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Scrying and land drops are great. Opt, 1 blue, instant, scry 1, draw a card. This makes Opt even better than it normally is, and it was pretty solid to begin with. Augury Owl is 1 and a blue, creature type bird, flying. When Augury Owl enters the battlefield, scry 3, 1/1. Okay, so this one's kind of bad. It does scry 1 time for us, and is a chump blocker in the air. You could potentially run a flicker engine to get more value out of creatures like this, but we're not doing that here. Biblioplex Kraken is 4 and a blue for a creature type Kraken. When Biblioplex Kraken enters the battlefield, scry 3. Whenever Biblioplex Kraken attacks, you may return another creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, Biblioplex Kraken can't be blocked this turn. 4/5. This can help us get those ETB abilities to trigger again, as well as scrying, as well as giving itself unblockable. Really cool new card. Sigiled Starfish is 1 and a blue for a creature type starfish. Tap, scry 1, 0/3. Scrying every turn is more of what we like to see in this deck. You could argue there are better scrying effects than this, but I finally found a deck that the starfish works in, so let me have this. Crystal Ball is a 3-mana artifact. Pay 1, tap, scry 2. This one costs a bit to activate, but digs a bit deeper, which can help us get past clumps of lands. Witching Well is 1 blue for an artifact. When Witching Well enters the battlefield, scry 2. 3 and a blue, sacrifice Witching Well, draw 2 cards. Scry early game, instant speed draw in the late game. What's not to love? So we've manipulated the top of our deck. Now we need to cheat some stuff into play. Well, don't worry, we've got you covered with Stormtide Leviathan. 5 blue, 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 creature type Leviathan with Island Walk. This creature can't be blocked as long as defending player controls an island. All lands are islands in addition to their other types, and creatures without flying or Island Walk can't attack. This is great as it acts like a pseudo moat. It is also a great unblockable threat. Sword Coast Serpent is 5 blue blue, creature type Serpent Dragon with Adventure, Capsizing Wave, 1 and a blue, instant adventure. Return target creature to its owner's hand. And the creature part is Sword Coast Serpent can't be blocked as long as you've cast a non-creature spell this turn. 6/6. We're going to be casting a lot of non-creature spells in order to scry, so this will very often be unblockable. The returning a creature card to its owner's hand is just gravy. Storm Surge Kraken is 3 blue blue for a creature type Kraken with hexproof. Lieutenant, as long as you control your commander, Storm Surge Kraken gets +2/+2 and has whenever Storm Surge Kraken becomes blocked, you may draw 2 cards. Hexproof is good, 7/7 when we have our commander out of suite, and drawing cards is awesome, especially since it disincentivizes blockers. Spawning Kraken is 5 and a blue for a creature type Kraken. Whenever a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent you control deals combat damage to a player, create a 9/9 blue Kraken creature token. We are playing these creatures and attacking with them, so why not get free 9/9s for doing so? Simic Sky Swallower is 5 green blue, creature type Leviathan, flying, trample, and shroud. This creature cannot be the target of spells or abilities. 6/6. Shroud might as well be hexproof in this deck since most of our stuff doesn't target our own board, with few exceptions. Serpent of the Yawning Depths is 4 blue blue, enchantment creature Serpent. Krakens, Leviathans, Octopus, and Serpents you control can't be blocked except for by Krakens, Leviathans, Octopus, or Serpents. Giving all of our big eaters a pseudo-unblockable is great. Slin Voda, the Rising Deep, is 6 blue blue, legendary creature Leviathan, kicker 1 and a blue. When Slin Voda, the Rising Deep, enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return all creatures to their owner's hands except for Merfolk, Krakens, Leviathans, Octopus, and Serpents. We can't kick this and cheat this out. It's one or the other kind of deal, so we either get discounted beater or an expensive one that bounces our opponent's creatures. Scourge of Fleets is 5 blue blue, creature type Kraken. When Scourge of Fleets enters the battlefield, return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less into their owner's hand, where X is the number of islands you control. 6/6. This is like Slin Voda, but better. And it's all Primal Tide. 5 blue blue, legendary creature Elder Dinosaur. This spell can't be countered. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card. Discard 3 cards, exile Nizal Primal Tide, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This is a monster of a creature, but it can't be cheated into play through our commander, so consider that when you make this deck. It might just be worth cutting. It's not wrong to cut it, but I find it impactful enough that it's worth ramping into. Moriet of the Frost is 2 green blue blue, legendary snow creature Shapeshifter. Changeling, this card is every creature type. You may have Moriet of the Frost enter the battlefield as a copy of a permanent you control, except it's legendary and snow in addition to its other types, and if it's a creature, it enters with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it and has Changeling. 0/0. Honorary creature of the appropriate type, and it can come down as a copy of any of our creatures or permanents in general. It's not often that we will choose to copy a permanent we control, but it's there if we need to. Coma Cosmos Serpent is 3 green green blue blue, legendary creature Serpent. This spell can't be countered. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 3/3 blue serpent creature token named Coma's Coil. Sacrifice another serpent. Choose one. Tap target permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated this turn. Coma Cosmos Serpent gains indestructible until end of turn. 6/6. This card will ruin friendships and make so many tokens. Why does it make them on each upkeep? Who made this card this way? Cataract Leviathan is 6 blue blue for a creature type Leviathan. When Cataract Leviathan comes into play, return all other non-land permanents to their owner's hands on Earth. 6 and a blue. 5/5. This is dangerous as it'll bounce all of our creatures back into our hand as well, but it can be good to stop token players from getting out of hand. Hullbreaker Horror is 5 blue blue, creature type Kraken Horror with flash. This spell can't be countered. Whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. This card is silly. It acts like bounce or weird counterspell. AZ, Tyrant of Gyre Strait, is 4 green blue, legendary creature Serpent. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Card draw off of lands. Thank heavens we're in green, am I right? And that's it. That's the deck. Did I miss anything? If so, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, why not give it a like? And if you really like this video, you can subscribe to my Patreon or even just my channel here. Either way, I hope you have a wonderful day.